Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special August 20th, 2017 edition of The Breast There Is, The Breast There Was, and The Breast There Ever Will Be Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Mikey B. WWE, and I apologize to my faithful listeners for being absent for the last few weeks. There's been a lot of things going on in the life here of Mikey B. WWE. I've been moving and changing my location, so anyways, there won't be any more delays, so I'm going to get right to it. One of the big four events now this weekend, tonight in fact, is Summerslam. Summerslam is one of the biggest events of the year, the biggest since WrestleMania. So I'm going to give my predictions for this episode and then get back to my regularly scheduled programming later on this week. So, and as always in my previous prediction shows, I'm not going to cover any of the kickoff matches. This show looks like it's going to be running at least 4 hours. So you better get comfortable to watch this program. So on the main card, there are 10 matches. So I will review those. Starting with the first match is between Big Show and Big Cass. And Enzo Amore will be held in a shark cage above the ring. I have to think, just going with the recent trend of Big Cass turning heel and them, I think, giving him a push now as a singles performer, that Big Cass has to be victorious here to keep giving him some momentum. So Big Cass will win the opening match. The second match on the card is Randy Orton versus Rusev. Rusev is easily one of the best heels that the WWE has at the moment. He's been off recently, I believe, for an injury. So since his return in his only match, he, at least on pay-per-view, he lost to John Cena in a flag match. So I have to say that Randy Orton is going to keep getting screwed, and he's going to lose in a dirty way to Rusev, which will also give Rusev more heat towards him. So Rusev will be the victor between him and Randy Orton. And in the first of many championship matches on the evening, the SmackDown Women's Championship features Naomi and Natalya. Naomi's held the title for quite some time, and I just feel that given the roster, the women's roster on SmackDown, that Natalya, it would suit better if she, being a heel herself, would face off against the likes of Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. I think those two are going to be suited in the hunt for the women's championship. So I got to say that Natalya is going to be the first heart to win a championship in the WWE in quite some time. So I'm going with the underdog Natalya. The fourth match is for the Raw Tag Team Championships between champions Cesaro and Sheamus versus the newly put together tag team of Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. I just got this feeling that this Dean Ambrose Seth Rollins partnership, I think, will certainly end in some type of a feud with them. And I could even see that being dragged out all the way to like WrestleMania, or at least Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, one of their big events. So I think they're slowly going to play this one out, and to make that more interesting, it would to give them the titles, the tag team titles, would certainly create that partnership that could last certainly for several months before something goes awry. Maybe one of them turns heel, and then they themselves have a singles feud. So I'm going with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins winning the Raw Tag Team Championships, just because that's much more exciting than Cesaro and Sheamus retaining. So the fifth match is for the Raw Women's Championship between champion Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks. Considering that Bayley was originally slotted in this spot to face Alexa Bliss for the title, I have to say that Alexa Bliss is the favorite. I just don't see them putting Sasha Banks in the match now, winning her, which she won a number one contenders match against Nia Jax on Monday Night Raw this past week. I can't see her already getting a championship because I don't believe those were. Well, she certainly wasn't in the cards already to win at SummerSlam. So Alexa Bliss will retain, keeping her belt as the top the women's heel character on Raw. So Alexa Bliss, I believe, will retain the Raw Women's Championship. The sixth match is for the United States Championship between champion AJ Styles and Kevin Owens. And this one has Shane McMahon as the special guest referee. I can see certainly some foul play occurring in this match, and I just have a feeling that since they've been going back and forth, this title has changed numerous times in the last month or so. I think Kevin Owens will probably win it back, which I also believe will result in AJ Styles getting a push towards top title status. Whoever does lose this matchup, I think will Kevin Owens or AJ Styles will go towards the top title, the WWE Championship on SmackDown Live. I think they're going to start entering that title picture. So I'm going with Kevin Owens staying at the second tier belt, and AJ Styles going up now after this, following this feud, and competing for the top title on SmackDown Live. So Kevin Owens, I believe, will win the United States Championship, possibly in a dirty way. Shane O'Mac will probably be very reluctant to give the pinfall to Kevin Owens, but he will. I think Kevin Owens will do it. Now, the seventh match is between the Demon Finn Balor against Bray Wyatt. This is a match. This is a feud I've been looking forward to seeing in a while, because I knew that eventually they'd pull out the Finn Balor Demon King, which now they're going with just the Demon character against Bray Wyatt's spooky character. So I think this is interesting in its own way. And Bray Wyatt, he's been a long time jobber, at least in important feuds and things like that. He's still important, but I don't think that he's going to defeat Finn Balor. With Finn Balor now resuming his demon persona again, you got to give him the victory on this one. So the Demon Finn Balor will be victorious in that match. The eighth match is between John Cena and Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin, just on Tuesday on SmackDown Live, he cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase unsuccessfully and did not win the WWE Championship. So he's really angry at Cena for this. And it's very difficult for any person predicting these matches to call for a count out or a disqualification as opposed to just a regular pinfall or decision. So, but this one I have a feeling Baron Corbin, since they were giving him a push and now they just made him look weak by cashing in the briefcase and losing, I think they got it. What they need to do is make him look really crazy and beat the crap out of Cena, probably resulting in a disqualification, or I can imagine Cena even winning cleanly and then Baron Corbin going crazy and just beating the hell out of him after that. But regardless, I believe John Cena will be the victor here, either by a clean win or by disqualification. So John Cena will win that match. The ninth match of the night is for the WWE Championship between champion Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura is one of the oldest wrestlers on the roster, so I don't believe he's going to. His time certainly, his window is a lot smaller than some of these other younger performers. And given certainly the excitement around his wrestling ability, his character, I think this WWE Championship now needs a change of the guard. So I think Nakamura will win the title. These two might start a feud, or like I said, AJ Styles or Kevin Owens, someone like that will enter the top title picture now. But I got to go Shinsuke Nakamura winning his first WWE Championship. And now moving on to the final 10th match of the night. If you're still awake, good for you. It's the Universal Championship Fatal 4-Way match. And the special stipulation in this match is I'll first mention the participants, then I'll tell the stipulation. The four men competing are Universal Champion Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, and Braun Strowman. And the special stipulation is if Brock Lesnar loses, he and his manager Paul Heyman both have to leave the WWE. Now, before I give my prediction on this match, I must note that earlier this year, it was reported by ESPN and a number of other reputable news and journalistic sites that Brock Lesnar has officially retired from UFC. So therefore, any of you people speculating that he might leave and go do another match with the UFC, I believe that is not going to happen because he is, I guess, issued that publicly that he's done with them. So that leaves Brock Lesnar's schedule pretty wide open, I must say. And having said that, I think this stipulation almost kind of makes it obvious in my mind, or I could be wrong. They might also go with a totally different direction, and then play some sort of storyline with Lesnar trying to get back into WWE. But I have a feeling that they're going to keep the belt on Lesnar for a while, maybe even the full year until WrestleMania. But that would be kind of awful considering he's never around, hardly ever around, and doesn't seem to care that much about this company. So I am going with Brock Lesnar retaining, since the stipulation would have him removed. So Brock Lesnar will retain the Universal Championship in the main event of SummerSlam. So hopefully this is a good event. SummerSlam I've been looking forward to because you got usually the best feuds from both shows on a single broadcast. It's a shame that they're running this show 4 hours plus. If you watch the kickoff matches, there's 3 of those, which I will not do because I would rather spend my time doing something else. So, it would be nice to see a good pay-per-view show. After my last predictions, the previous pay-per-view, I've now gone above 50%. So I will hopefully keep that number rising and keep giving good predictions. So anyways, thanks very much for listening. If you have any comments, please write them down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for listening. See you next time.